What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? So, Myles Garrett, we have to put Myles Garrett in the conversation of, in the conversation with, in the conversation for the Defense Player of the Year reward. We have to put, we have to put Myles Garrett in the conversation. Because with Myles Garrett, what he's doing, he had free tackles against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The I think with Myles Garrett, his performance, he looks like the same player that won the Defense Player of the Year last year. He looks like the same player that won the Defense Player of the Year last year. And and Myles Garrett looks like the same player he played. Looks like the same defensive player that won the Defense Player of the Year last year. And I know that my Browns aren't. I know that my Browns aren't on. I know that the Browns aren't on. I know that the Browns are not on the are not going to make a playoffs, or not going to make the playoffs, or not going to make the playoffs. I know my Browns aren't going to not make the playoffs, but Myles Garrett looks like a defense player of the year. Myles Garrett looks like a defense player of the year because he had free tackles against the against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I also think when you look at it, when you look at it, some takes will say we want to see a defense player win MVP, or a running back like Barkley that's having a good season with the Eagles win MVP. But I think Myles Garrett should be in the conversation of Defense Player of the Year, Defense Player of the Year, and MVP. Because I would say that I would want to see somebody like a running back in Barkley win an MVP, or Myles Garrett Myles Garrett in a discussion, winning defense, being up for defense player of the year, and I would like to see Myles Garrett win defense player of the year, and or be in the running up for MVP, because I think when you look at the defense side and when you look at the offense side, nobody hasn't won an MVP on the defense side of the football in a game. Nobody has won a MVP on the defense side of the football. Probably somebody won Defense Player of the Year, like Myles Garrett last year. Um, like Defense Player of the Year, like that's for defense. But we haven't seen nobody like a non defense, nobody on the defense side of the football win MVP or be in the discussion for MVP. So I think Myles Garrett should be in the MVP discussion as well. Because right now in that MVP discussion, it's Barkley, it's Amar Jackson, it's Patrick Mahomes right now in that discussion. It's Josh Allen in that discussion. Put 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 Myles Garrett in that discussion, because somebody on the defense side of the football should be in that discussion every single year, like a Myles Garrett, like a TJ Watt, like a Max Crosby. Um, because we haven't seen nobody win on the defense side of the ball win an MVP. We seen offense side of the ball win an MVP. Um, but I think with the way that Myles Garrett is playing, he should be in the conversation for both MVP and Defense Player of the Year. He had 3 tackles against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's looking like a Defense Player of the Year candidate. He's looking like a Defense Player of the Year candidate right now. Right now, Myles Garrett is looking like a Defense Player of the Year caliber player that can win Defense Player of the Year, that won Defense Player of the Year last year. It looks like a runner up for MVP. It looks like a runner up for MVP. And Myles Garrett does look like that. Myles Garrett looks like he's probably gonna win Defense Player of the Year. Looks like he's gonna win Defense Player of the Year reward. And looks like he's about to it looks like he's back to like winning Defense Player of the Year reward again. Even though that TJ Watt is in a discussion for it. TJ Watt is in a discussion for it. We can't forget him because TJ Watt is having a good season. I can say that from the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, that TJ Watt has had a good season so far. But back to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett looks like a Defense Player of the Year candidate. He just looks like, in my opinion, if I could have somebody on defense in a football team, and I don't know if Myles Garrett, I would say Myles Garrett looks like an MVP. He looks like an MVP, and he looks like an MVP, and he looks like an MVP and a Defense Player of the Year. But can he go back to back? That's a question. Can he go back to back? Can he go back to back? I think Myles Garrett can go back to back. Because he's looking like a Defense Player of the Year. He's looking like a Defense Player of the Year. Because last year, the Browns made the playoffs. And Myles Garrett won Defense Player of the Year. And I think, in my opinion, that Myles Garrett should be in the conversation for both rewards. I know I said at the beginning that could he win Defense Player of the Year? Again, he definitely could. He definitely could win Defense Player of the Year, even though the Browns are 3-8. But when you look at it, you can say if Myles Garrett had 3 tackles against Russell Wilson in the Pittsburgh Steelers game, in the snow game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, we don't know what he's going to do against the Broncos. We don't know what he's going to do against the Steelers, Baltimore, the Bengals. He should be up for both rewards, the Defense Player of the Year and MVP. And I'm about to put him in that discussion of Defense Player of the Year, or MVP. I know there's going to be other takes about Myles Garrett, and let me get the elephant out of the room. I know it's going to be other takes about is Myles Garrett going to win Defense Player of the Year again. or if he's going to win MVP. I think he deserves to be in the same conversation with Patrick Mahomes as an MVP, Lamar Jackson as an MVP, that discussion. But still have him in the discussion for Defense Player of the Year with like Defense Player of the Year, like TJ Watt, like Max Crosby. Like you have to put Myles Garrett in that discussion because Myles Garrett could win Defense Player of the Year or MVP. We do not know. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there and stay blessed, everybody. And peace.